The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. And today in our Blind United crew, we have Coffee Time crew, whatever. Anyway, we got Brittany. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning. Happy Friday, you guys.
And then we got Pedro.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today?
All right. And then, so anyway, George is supposed to drop in with us today, so at some point. But anyway, we got one interest group for tonight and Friday, always. The movie night with me, and we are playing the third installment in the Bad Boys series. Can't remember which one this is. Bad Boys for Life or something like that. I don't know, but it's the third one. And then I will do my best to make sure we get the fourth one played next week. If not, I'll put it off for a week, but we'll see what happens after Thanksgiving. So anyway, that's tonight at 6 p.m. So as always, grab all your favorite snacks and all that good stuff, and we'll make that happen then. You must be playing on your phone over there, Pedro.
I'm listening. Why? What happened?
We hear somebody's voiceover. It's definitely talking. It's saying something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know either, but anyway. Again, man, we had a great day yesterday. A little briefly, we went out and hung out with some folks out in Anaheim from Anaheim Braille and had enjoyed a Friendsgiving with them. It was pretty good. Everybody enjoyed themselves. Again, I'm not going to critique the restaurant, but, the people were good. We enjoyed ourselves out there. And one thing I will say about the restaurant is at least the prices weren't outrageous. But other than that, I mean, we had a nice time. It was a long journey from San Bernardino all the way into Anaheim, of course, dealing with public transportation and access and all that stuff that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. But we made it happen. I don't know what time it was when I got home. It had to be, I don't know, somewhere about 8 o'clock, something like that. So
yeah, something like that. I was tired when I got home. I went to sleep. Elizabeth said, "Hi, everyone." So, hi, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, you're right about the prices. The prices wasn't outrageous. We was on the outside scene originally. But it was nice. The sun was out. It got warm. You know what I mean? And the weather was fine. The company was great. Like always, the company was great. We had over 20 people, probably around 35.
Oh, okay. I knew it was quite a few. I know we had the whole patio to ourselves, so there was a lot of conversations going on in a lot of different directions. But I was able to meet some nice new people that I have not yet met, and some other ones I can kind of associate with other people I know. But it's all good. It's as to what our community is. It's what they call it, a mixed bag of nuts.
You don't know what nutty flavor you're gonna get.
That's it, but they're all good people. So it was a lot of fun with that one. So Anyway, because I don't know, I guess my articles have been bringing up some serious conversation lately. I ain't got but two for you, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this first one, and both of them today are some stuff going on in Capitol Hill and the Senate and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into this right quick. Let me get down here too. Here we go. I'll be right back on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, we're discussing the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee's recent efforts to address the dominance of Visa and Mastercard in the credit card market and their impact on consumers and businesses. Key issues explored. Visa and Mastercard collectively control 83% of the U.S. credit card market, issuing nearly 576 million cards. This dominance has led to high interchange fees, the charges merchants pay to process credit card transactions. In 2023, these fees exceeded $100 billion, making them some of the highest globally and placing a significant burden on small businesses. Legislative proposals. The Credit Card Competition Act, introduced by Senators Dick Durbin and Roger Marshall, proposes requiring large financial institutions to offer at least 2 unaffiliated networks for processing transactions. Advocates argue that this would reduce fees, increase competition, and save consumers billions annually. Industry and government reactions. Executives from Visa and Mastercard defended their practices during the hearing, emphasizing the value of their networks. However, bipartisan skepticism was evident. Senator Peter Welch criticized the impact of high fees on small businesses, while Senator John Cornyn issued a warning to the industry to self-regulate or face legislative action. Implications. If passed, the Credit Card Competition Act could reshape the credit card industry, fostering competition and lowering costs for both merchants and consumers. This hearing reflects growing bipartisan momentum to address market power in the financial sector. What do you think about these efforts to regulate the credit card industry? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew.
Man, that's crazy. $100 billion in just fees. I mean, that ain't money that people spent and paid back. That's how much they charged us. Okay, as a country, whatever, right? $100 billion in fees, man. That stuff is crazy. And something that the article didn't bring up, and I noticed. So I go way back, right? Old guy. So back in the beginning, Visa was actually part of Bank of America. And they issued out the Bank of America card, right? And then they switched over to Visa, which then somehow they started allowing all these other banks, right? 'Cause I guess it's more of a branding thing at this point, right? Now they're letting all banks, you can get a Visa from any bank pretty much, right? As long as they issue cards. So they went from being a credit card company to a credit card transaction service. That's what's crazy. They're making more money in transactions than they were making as a credit card company. And I mean, come on, man, $100 billion. Okay, that's a lot of money, man. I'm sorry. The fees are just crazy, and people don't realize. I mean, yes, within that 100 billion, that's money that the businesses where we go swipe our cards, the little kiosks that we can't use, right? To swipe and all that stuff with our cards. All that stuff is going through their system, right? So they're making money. Number one, they're charging the company that has that kiosk, right? They're charging us, I mean, come on, man. They're making money from all directions off of us just handling our everyday transactions. And they literally want us to move from cash to credit, So Man, it's crazy. But I mean, I agree. They got 83% of the market. No, we need more competition in there. We need more competition because they're able to go and just go buck wild with, their fees because they have no competition. And that's basically what Congress, well, Senate wants them to do. So,
Yes. Yeah, I believe that they do need more competition. 83% in the game is what they got, and they are able to control a big portion, even Mastercard. And man, that's a lot of money on just transactions alone, and that's excluding other fees and other things that they do and earn revenue also. And I don't agree with the I forgot the gentleman's name that said that they need to self-regulate. Come on. When that's had that worked in that type of industry, you're getting so much money, they're worried about their bottom line. They're doing what they gotta do. They're in the government position. They need to regulate these companies. They need to regulate. And then for that, was it a senator, right?
yeah, it was one of the senators, but
Yeah, what other senator said you need to self-regulate. I don't believe that works. And we had different examples of that about the meat industry, also other industries too, that
of
yeah
course.
we'll hear later on in the show. But um, you know, going that route by putting it in their hands, I think that's the incorrect way to handle this situation because they're, in my opinion, I don't believe they will do that.
So just to be clear, and it didn't come out in the final product that I'm playing here, but in the actual research when I pulled all that up, he actually said either you do it or we'll do it for you. So it was more of a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, that was the threat. You fix this or we're going to fix it with
Yeah,
legislation.
yeah, because yeah, I believe they should be self regulate. Well, they should be regulated, right? But not by themselves because there's always some issue that ends up happening, some mistake, or the loyalty stays within the company from who I'm getting the check from my company. Why am I gonna really press them on this issue that you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
Well, also that what didn't come out, in the final product that I put out here, because this I actually heard when I was listening to these hearings. It had to do with also with this, like I said, being a branding licensing kind of thing, with between Visa and Mastercard. Some of these banks that are putting these cards out are charging people as much as 30% interest on their purchases. Man, that's usury. That's loan sharking. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff is got to change. Who was that? Well, even 47. I ain't gonna never say his name. I'm gonna call it 47. But anyway, I'm surprised. Actually, he's talking about putting a cap on this at 10%. Okay, that well, you heard him talking about the credit card whatever act
Mm-hmm.
that has that in there where they're going to start capping these cards at 10%.
Yeah, that could be a good thing. That could be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, because again, again, you're punishing people because of their credit, right? Charging them 30%, whatever. But when you're charging them, 30% on what they spend, you're not giving them any move room, you know, to be able to increase their credit scores. Because I mean, you're tacking into the money to where they're paying you. They might now have to pay. They can't pay another bill, which is going to bring their credit rate down, which is going to drive their, you know, when they go to get a card or whatever, it's going to drive that rate up. So I mean, it's a game, man. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle that they get people caught up in, and it's so hard to get out of. I mean, again, you imagine you go spend $1,000, and you only pay the minimum payment every month. It'll take you over 10 years to pay that $1,000 back. And by the time you're done, you done spent 3-4 grand at least on that $1,000 you spent. So I mean, it's all got to be, something's got to be done about all this stuff. So I don't know. You got anything on this, Britt? How you feel about these credit cards?
I mean, they know what they're doing. That's all I can say about it, Like, they've obviously thought this all the way through, and they're not going to self-regulate. And Carol from Dallas said, good morning. So
Good morning, Carol.
And we miss you, and we'd love to hear your opinion about this. Anytime you want to come on and talk about this, you can, or anybody else for that matter. info@blindunited.org.
Yeah, believing that they're gonna self-regulate with the millions of dollars they're making, it's having a hopeful attitude, but something does need to happen. Like Ed said, something does need to happen. And what do you guys think? Hey, these credit cards, you could put your image on them now. You could put your picture. You could get all types of designs on them.
Yeah. I think I forget which one. I think I got when we went down and opened up the account for Blind United. I think mine has a big old eagle on it.
Mine is leopard print.
Okay.
Brittany's is leopard print. I think Cheryl got butterflies or something, right?
Mine's is all black.
So I mean, again, you can order your cards any way you want. I mean, our cards actually have Braille on them as well.
That's what I was about to ask. Like, why we can't get Braille on them? That'd be dope.
No, my Blind United one has my credit card number in Braille, and it has the CVD numbers and the expiration in Braille, and then it has my first initial and my last name in Braille.
Damn, I need to see that one next time, just to look at it. And I didn't know that. And then if you're a viewer and you didn't know this, comment. Let us know if you knew that some of these cards come in Braille.
And again, and now on that one, Pedro, it's a per bank thing. So your bank may not offer that. Some of your more basic banks, I'm sorry, some of your credit unions and your community banks and stuff like that, you may not be able to get that option, But when you go with again, the major stuff, so we went with a major bank that specializes in dealing with nonprofits, so they were, more than willing to do all that for us. And they actually, when we was sitting there setting everything up, they asked us straight out, "What kind of card you want?" "What do you mean? I want a credit card, a debit card, whatever, right?" And okay, well, no, we mean, you got any particular design you want on it, whatever, and so we went through the list of that, and we all picked out what we wanted. Then they asked, "Do you want Braille on?" "Oh, yeah, hell yeah, we want Braille. Give us Braille." Even though I can't read Braille, but check it out.
Hey, when I pull it out, I'm representing when they see that Braille.
Well, not only that, it helps me identify that card because it's the only one I got Braille on it. So I make sure I don't use that card on my purchases. That's for Blind United stuff only. So,
and I like that card because whenever I have to make a Blind United purchase, I can read the credit card number and the CVD and the expiration date.
That is
so dope. That makes me really happy.
Right. Like you say, you don't have to write the number down and keep it somewhere or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you know Braille, you can just read it right off the card, just like the sighted folks read their numbers off the card.
So I'm mind blown, guys. I didn't know this.
Yeah. That's some good stuff. I mean, but again, that's not Visa. That's not MasterCard.
Of course,
that's the bank.
Of course.
I mean, again, it's, with industry in America, whatever it is, whether it's the credit industry or whatever, like I say, the food production, all this kind of stuff. No, we can't depend on these folks to self-regulate. They're just not going to do it, man. The way the system is set up with all of these regulations and stuff, right? There's supposed to be a federal employee there ensuring that all of these guidelines and stuff are followed to the letter, right? And because of different administrations, some want more regulations, some want less regulations, whatever the case may be, right? They end up cutting costs, right, within all of that. So their way of doing it is, okay, well, we'll bring the federal employee out of it, and then we'll have them hire somebody or promote somebody from within, right, and make them the liaison, supposed to be the inspector. But bottom line, your paycheck is coming from that company. You're going to be loyal to that paycheck. You're not going to be loyal to the U.S. government. You're going to be loyal to your paycheck. You're going to be loyal to the people that's paying you. So, if you see some meat that's been hanging on the rack a couple of days too long, yeah, well, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. They got plenty of preservatives on it. It'll be fine. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Regulations are designed not only to keep us safe in the food industry, but it's also meant to keep us safe in the credit industry as well. The banking industry, to where these people, 30% interest, what's it going to be? 50? Okay. If there's no regulation, it could go up to 100%. You spend $1, you got to pay back $2. What kind of madness is that? Oh, don't forget me, because you 100% interest, right? Now, but let's not forget those transaction fees, right? So now we got to pay what? $2.50? I don't know. Where are we going with this? With no regulation, there's no limit as to what they can do to us.
Yeah, they could get creative and come up with these fees. And I know one of our crew members and shit. Excuse my cousin. One of our crew members says when he used to work for a mobile cell phone company, they would be charging 25, 20, 30, even $50 for activation.
Oh yeah.
Even though they own the computers, they have the computer system, they just got to press one button. It's not like they got to say to the next man, hey, activation. And then that man runs down the hall, tells the next man, then the next man, and then one pulls a lever. Now, all these stars, none of that happens. It's just push up a button. That's all.
A simple keystroke. That's all it is, a simple keystroke. Again, on that note, I just got added a phone to my plan for one of my grandkids and got him his phone. And it's on its way. But bottom line, I was surprised. There was only a $10 activation fee, but they waived that. No, I take that back. I had to pay that. So the taxes on his phone, and then there was a $10 activation fee. Which, come on. I've been a loyal customer for, I don't know, now since end of 15. That's 9 years, man. Come on. Y'all can't just waive a little funky $10.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Show me you appreciate my loyalty.
Hey, they charge $1 million. Let's say they charge $10 to 1 million people to activate their phone in a year, right? Let's say that. How much money they just made?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, 1 million people, $10 each. That's $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Again, folks, all of these regulations and stuff like that, they're designed to protect us. Okay. You sit and you hear on the news all the time about how these corporate executives are making multi-million-dollar salaries with multi-million-dollar bonuses. They're the ones, they getting all that money to sit around a boardroom and discuss creative ways to increase their bottom line by what? Charging us more money for nothing. I mean, look at what we're doing with the hotel industry, all that, the hospitality industry, I guess they call it now. Look at all these resort fees. For what? It's the same hotel I was going to, 6 years ago. What did you do to turn it into a resort? There's nothing extra. I mean, hey, if you want to charge an extra fee for the swimming pool and all that, you know what? Then give me a basic price for just a room. I may not want to use your swimming pool, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It's just creative ways to charge us and take more money out of our pockets. That's all it is, So, but anyway, I hope that they really do, knuckle down on these folks, man. I don't believe they're going to self-regulate themselves. I believe they're going to have to actually introduce legislation to get this stuff to straighten out, because they're not going to do it. I mean, as we've said before, that's an obligation they have to their shareholders, right? To increase the bottom line, increase the profit. So they're doing what they're being paid to do. It's usury, man. They're just taking advantage of the people. I mean, there's no customer loyalty nowhere. I mean, it's just crazy. So.
Yeah, you're definitely correct that they need to be some something needs to go. They need to slash. Oh my God, I'm blacking out the word. I can't even say it. I'm not even gonna butcher it. But yeah, there needs to be some regulations and guidelines for this, because they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna self-regulate. Why are we gonna be like, oh, let's be hopeful? No, let's start doing it. Let's start helping people. Let's start helping the people that need this. Some people are stuck on credit card debt, and it could go for years and after years. You know what I mean? And it's a vicious cycle, like you said.
I mean, ultimately, they are literally every extra percentage point they charge us for whatever it is, right? Ultimately, you're killing the American dream, because you're taking more money out of our pocket so that we can no longer afford to buy that home or start a business. All of these different things that the American dream is about. You know what I'm saying? So, no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, I don't myself personally, I don't see a whole lot of hope within the new administration of moving in that direction. I mean, don't get me wrong, as we agree on here, there's corruption on both sides. So I'm not going to, corporate America, when they walk them halls, they don't care whether it's a Republican office or officer, senator or congressman. They don't care if it's Democratic or congressman, senator. Bottom line, when they walk in there, they already got the check wrote out. They sit down. Okay, you're going to vote this way? Okay, cool. Here's my money. Boom, boom, boom. Whether it's them doing it that way, I mean, they got their own way of doing these things, donating their campaigns and all this other kind of stuff, or, dirty money and dark money, as they call it, whatever, in politics. They really, 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 really need to get rid of all of that stuff. So anyway, we're going to jump into our ads, and then when I get back on the other side, we got another article for you.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel Blind United, you could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes? The You Can Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Can Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Can Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcangive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcangive.org.
All right. Well, again, folks, y'all got to know that that's something really, really serious to me, because I sit here and beg for them every day. I beg for them when I'm not even begging for Blind United, right? So don't get me wrong, we could use your help as well. But again, I just think about, as we say always, what would you do if you didn't have a cane? I'd be lost. So anyway, you can help Jimmy and his work he's doing with the You Can Give, whether it's donating to them or going to customcane.com, custom with a K, and making the purchase over there. All of that's going to go to help Jimmy fulfill his mission to put cans in the hands of people that would not normally be able to get one. So this one here is another Senate hearing, and this one here is about Google and their monopoly that they got going on. So let's play this one and you can hear about what they got.
Senate intensifies scrutiny of Google, antitrust, privacy, and misinformation in focus. Let's dive into the U.S. Senate's recent investigations into Google's business practices, tackling concerns over monopoly power, data privacy, and digital misinformation. Antitrust investigations. Google's dominance in the digital advertising sector is under scrutiny, with the Senate Judiciary Committee examining conflicts of interest in ad tech markets. The Bipartisan America Act proposes preventing companies handling over $20 billion in digital ad transactions from owning multiple parts of the ecosystem. This legislation seeks to dismantle monopolistic practices and foster competition. Data privacy concerns. The Senate is also investigating allegations that Google may have collaborated to actively listen to phone calls for targeted advertising. This inquiry, initiated by Senator Marsha Blackburn, highlights the Senate's commitment to protecting consumer privacy from potential corporate overreach. Election integrity and misinformation. Ahead of the 2024 elections, the Senate Intelligence Committee questioned tech giants, including Google, about their strategies to combat foreign disinformation. The focus was on improving safeguards to ensure accurate information during critical election periods. Implications. These hearings signify a bipartisan effort to hold Google accountable and could lead to stricter regulations, increased transparency, and significant changes in how the company operates. The goal is to create a more competitive and secure digital environment for consumers. Do you think stricter regulations on tech giants like Google are necessary? Join the conversation and share your thoughts. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew.
Well, first, let me apologize for the volume. It seemed a little low on that, so I hope everybody was able to hear it clearly. And also, again, and just to be fair, in the research when I pulled it up, it wasn't just Google as far as the data and all that kind of stuff. It was also Meta and I believe X as well, as far as doing this kind of stuff. So, but again, man, I mean, no, this is wrong. I mean, they've got the market, there's advertisement and all this stuff, and then there's taking all your data, they're tapping into your data. I mean, the stuff that they do is, as an example, I was helping a friend. I was searching for, maybe a solar power generator, right? On Google, brought up all that stuff, boom, 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 right? I went to a particular website that offers that type of equipment. Why is it now every time I get on YouTube, are you still interested in a solar generator, solar power generator? Come on, man. They targeting you. I mean, you heard what they said. That's what ain't that an invasion of my privacy if you're listening in on my phone calls?
Yeah, and it states right there in that article, Google is an ads company. Google is an ads company, so that's where they make their bread and butter is their ads. And yes, and I believe that's some against rules and regulations listening into a private phone call, just to whatever it may be you're looking for. It might be some things that they violated. And you're right, it's not only Google, it's Facebook with their multiple apps they have purchased, like Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and all these other little things that they do. They also advertise, and that's where they make their money. So when you make ads in the back end, you could target audience. You're able to target specific to area, demographic, interest, or what they have searched. So think about all that information that Facebook already has for you, for a person that wants to create an ad or a company to target you. Now, for Twitter, um, it's been a little scandal. There's if you go online, there's a whole conversation about Elon and making this purchase and who it benefited and what he did as to change the algorithm to benefit certain topics or benefit himself.
Right.
Yeah, so they need they need to look at all that. Google is a big corporation that controls a lot. And oversees even YouTube. You know,
Well,
so they.
and then again, a lot of the Senate hearings as well is also, like they say, trying to break up the big guys. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, they are an ad company, but you think about everything else they do. You know what I'm saying? All of these other companies they got that they have that they're actually using as a front to gather our data. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they offer this stuff for us for free, right? We get to use Google to, one of the best search engines out there, right? Uh, again,
Their
YouTube,
smart device.
yeah, their smart device, the Google Home, the AI, the Google now what Gemini, YouTube again, Gmail, right?
Hmm.
All of
Google
these,
Docs, all
yeah,
that,
Google
all that good
Docs,
stuff.
all of this stuff. I mean, I am led to believe. I mean, maybe it's my conspiracy, right? That all of these things, even if you're in Google Docs and you got a business, you're working with teams, right, or whatever. Man, how do I know they're not gathering my whatever I'm doing, I'm going on internal with my team? How do I know they're not gathering that data? How do I know they're not gathering that information about what I'm working on or what our company's working on or stuff like that? And they're using that, as a way to target us, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and you can never be 100% sure, because look how we just found out from this information from this article that there are listening into our calls. And then if you're a company using these services, you know, you I wonder how they would target. More targeting information is what they're getting. You know, so
Now,
man.
I'm not going to say that they're listening in on our actual phone calls, but as an example, with all of the newer technology and stuff out here now. I mean, you can go in there. I mean, we had one. We had a Google number that we created, right, for when we were doing some call-in stuff. I know they listening in on that. You know what I'm saying? They got now the team thing where like Zoom or whatever, right? They can listen in on that. If they own it, they can listen in on it, I believe, right? And then we go back over to Meta, with the messenger calls, right? They listening in on that kind of stuff, what is what's up is all basically almost like a phone thing, so they listening in on all of that stuff. Instagram, I mean, I don't know if you can do anything like that. I mean, I know you can do direct messaging and all that kind of stuff. So, but again, they're getting data from all of that stuff, and they're using it against us. Is basically what they're doing. I mean, the thing you brought up about Elon, I seen where he actually, like you said, he changed the algorithm to where, when he would post something, he changed the algorithm where it boosted it like 100%.
1,000%.
Oh, you're right, 1,000%. So whatever. So now, where people are not really getting his stuff because they're not interested in what he got to say because he changed the algorithm. Now it moves it up into the news feed to where pretty much everybody gets it.
Yeah, and that's coming from a Twitter person, X person from X, the platform. Um, that's a quoted number. He wanted to go and have his algorithm changed so he could get boosted to 1,000% because he was
Right.
upset because he was outdone by another person, you know. But he even used this platform to benefit himself, fired a whole staff. Some staff left, but he fired a lot of people. But what he was doing, cleaning up house, but I get into some other conspiracies about that. But these companies do need to be regulated. There need to be guidelines, including with this MasterCard and Visa. Also, we got these giant corporations. I mean, billions of dollars that they're taking from our pockets. And Ed's right. That kills the American dream for us to be hopeful, to be able to own something, to get a piece of the pie, the American pie.
I mean, again, the more money they take from us, the less money we have to purchase a home, purchase a new car, whatever the case may be, because they're taking it from us. We don't have money to do all that now. And then all of this, you're killing our credit. So now when we go in to buy a car, we're paying 30, 25, 30%, some folks on a purchase, man, that's crazy. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not allowed to charge money for loaning us money, right? But at a certain point, it becomes, as they say, usury. Back in the day, they called it loan sharking. Now this is basically legal loan sharking is what it's boiled down to now. There's no such thing as a loan shark anymore. Well, I guess the ones that are out there, if they still surviving, they probably charging 50 to 75%, you know, as we were talking about earlier. But anyway, this is legal loan sharking. This is another reason they was trying to put regulations on these payday loan things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because again, that's usury. Usury. They're taking more of your money than's they're legally supposed to be legally allowed to do, and they're getting away from it. They're getting away with it. I mean, I hate to go here, but we're gonna bring this one into the mix as well. I was sitting there going over these numbers the other day, right? Look at what they're doing to the Lyft and Uber drivers, man. Come on. They are getting less than 50% of the ride charge, right? I mean, come on. So I did the thing, I forget what it was. There was millions of Uber drivers, right? Imagine if they only took $1, right? It was something like $7 million a day or whatever. That's how much they would make. But with them making over 50% with their fees and all of this other kind of stuff, that now instead of making millions of dollars, they're making billions of dollars a day. A day, people, a day. This is crazy. It is literally crazy. They talking about there's no such thing as American dream no more. Why? Because corporate America stole it. They took it, threw it in the trash can, and said, never again. Only for the people we want to have it. It's just that simple. If you're not up here, in the top percentage of income earners in the country, you don't have an American dream.
Yeah. If you're not a billionaire, if you're not in our class, you're asked out.
If you're down there on this end of the scale, you're ass out. I mean, if you do get lucky enough to, come up on a home or whatever, man, please do, because that's it'll build your wealth. That's why it's called the American dream, because nothing builds wealth like home ownership, real estate. That stuff goes up and up and up and up. I mean, it's like gold and silver, right? They just go up and up and up. You know what I'm saying? So again, they killing us, y'all. They killing us. I'm trying to tell you, and we got to do something about it. I mean, I'm sorry. If at all possible, my thing would be, you know what? Let me quit using my card. Let me start doing everything with cash. Right now, they're not making a dime on me. Imagine if we all started doing that. Oh, they would hurry up and change the game. They would hurry up and fix the issue, because they want you to use that card. They want you to make them feed.
Yeah, and also look, that doesn't mean stop paying your bills. We could let's say, for an example, just an idea out there, just to go on strike. Let's say everybody just don't use their cards. That doesn't mean don't pay your minimum due or what you're gonna pay, but don't use your cards starting, and let's say go 3 months. Man, they're gonna feel it when it comes on the next round and the next quarter. They're gonna see it that no one spent, and they're gonna want. You gotta pressure them. We gotta use our money to make things happen. You know what I mean?
So let me explain how I
Okay.
do an end around on their butt, right? So I use my credit card to pay my bills for the house, right? Whatever it is, utilities, whatever, I pay those with my credit card. These are the things I would normally pay with cash, right? But I wanted to build my credit. So I says, okay, I'm going to take this card. I'm going to pay my bills with the card. Then I'm going to take that cash and I'm going to pay that card off before it comes due. Now I beat the interest, and the only person getting stuck with the transaction fees are the companies that's processing the card. So, if like for instance, T-Mobile, whatever, I got my stuff on auto pay, right? They the ones got to pay Visa that fee, not me. You get what I'm saying? When I pay my Edison bill, I pay what I owe. They got to pay Visa that transaction fee, not me. And because I paid my card off with the cash money I got come in to cover my bills, I pay that card off. Now I beat the bank by not having to give them any interest. But I'm building my credit.
And that's how it goes, folks. You gotta remember these big corporations. They're there to take that dollar from your hand.
You got to find a way to hold on to it. I mean, I feel blessed that I was lucky enough to buy a home, and I'm going to do everything I can to hold on to it. And one of the things I can do is make sure I don't give any money away unnecessarily. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got to do what works best for you. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what I do. Of course, it's my opinion. Just like we say in the beginning, everything we say on here is our opinion. But again, this is what I do. So anyway, so Brett, before we get out of here, we got any more folks down below?
We do. Carol said that she misses all of us and that the Braille credit card seems fly and she wishes she could read Braille. No, I mean that, man, I love that card. That is one of my favorite cards because like I said, I love being able to just read it like a sighted person, especially since the place where I put all my important information is dead at the moment. So yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So, Carol, we miss you too, sweetheart, and we look forward to having you back real soon. Uh, uh, but again, I mean, we got to do what we got to do, folks. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's like anything else. You know what I'm saying? Why would I, cut what I'm buying at the store so I can pay somebody's inflated interest prices, right? Why am I going to go buy, cheat myself at the store to line some Wall Street banker's pockets? It doesn't make sense to me, So, I mean, I don't know that this is actually working. I do know my credit is going up. I know when I look at my statements, I don't see any extra fees other than what I've charged to pay my bills, stuff like that. So for me, in my mind, I'm winning, So everybody do what you think you got to do, but you got to keep yourself straight. Don't let these folks take advantage of you because.
And that's what Tisha said too. She said, don't beat the bank and give them all your interest. And she also said, good morning. So good morning, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. You got to be smart about it. You can't just say, "Oh wow, they just gave me a credit card, $1,500. Man, I'm on my way to the mall." For what? For what? Okay, just because you got credit, look at before you go to the mall. Look at what interest rate they're giving you. Now, do you have the money to pay for what you're getting ready to get at the mall? Now, if you got the money in the bank or in your pocket, whatever, to pay what you're getting ready to go buy at the mall, man, go for it. Okay? Use your card, do that, pay that card off before, by the due date, and then you don't have to pay that interest, But if you're going to go buy, $1,000 leather jacket and you ain't got but $25, well, all you're doing is making a minimum payment. Guess what? When that next payment statement rolls around, you still owe $1,000. Matter of fact, you're probably going to owe more than $1,000 because now they're going to charge you interest on the balance, the unpaid balance. Okay? Think about it, people. Think about it. Before you whip out that piece of plastic, oh, I got it. I'll just pay it off over okay. Okay. Let me know how that works out. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan when you go spend that money. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's in case of emergency, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Okay. I mean, I've got mine now where I got more of a credit limit than I need. But I look at it in case of emergency. I got that money. And just in case of an emergency, I'm not finna go out there and spend that money just because they're going to give me that credit line. That don't make sense. Not at all. I mean, look at how many people right here this season, holiday season, they go out there and they spend, a couple, $4,000, whatever on Christmas because they got plastic. Then they end up taking the whole next year to pay that off only so they can do it again next holiday season. That's a vicious cycle you don't want to get in. It really is. That's a vicious cycle. So, pay attention to what you're doing out there, folks. So anyway,
and we have another comment from Tisha. She said, good morning to Carol, and she's been wondering where you've been. So, yeah.
Well,
Carol, you're
you know
missed.
what? I am proud of my sister, Carol. She has We was talking the other night, and I've been listening in, and I can't comment. We told her how to go in there and get herself signed up, and boom, here she is. She's dropping comments. You know what I'm saying? All the good stuff. So, Carol, I'm proud of you, sweetheart. I'm really, really proud of you. You know,
I have a lot of admiration for people like Carol and even you, Ed, and Cheryl and Pedro, people who haven't been blind their whole lives. And Tisha too. And y'all just are just learning all this stuff, picking it up, figuring it how to do it. I mean, I guess life goes on. Whatever happens to you, you got to figure it out. But I just really admire you guys.
well, I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, what's your other choice? Go dig a hole in the background and lay down, and in the backyard. Go buy a plot and open it up and just lay down. I mean, if you're not going to live your life to its fullest, you might as well do just that. I mean, I'm not suggesting suicide. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, life goes on, man. You got to do what you got to do to make the best of it. Otherwise you're going to be dependent on other people to do everything for you for the rest of your life. And that ain't me. That's just not what I do. I mean, I still have to depend on people. I mean, Britta, I depend on you a lot, baby. Pedro. I mean, I'm learning from Pedro. I mean, look at us yesterday at the restaurant, Pedro. I mean, we went to the bathroom the first time. Once we got it figured out, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
No, Ed had to guide me to the bathroom because I was like, where's the bathroom? And Ed was like, oh, take a right, take a right. Unfortunately for me, he guided me to the men's restroom, and I had to stand there like an idiot until I found the women's restroom. But it's all good.
Well, I had to go to the bathroom. So I was guiding you to my bathroom. Well, I directed you. I mean, you got a little bit of vision. I just told you which direction to go. But I mean, I got it figured out. Look how many times I got up from the table and walked out front. Pedro showed me that little side gate. I said, oh, okay. I can go right out that little gate and I can make my way out front. We just pick up things from each other. That's all. We learn from each other. And that's what we do in Blind United with our interest group. I mean, yeah, we got some experts in there like Pedro and Andy and George and, a few others. But we're in there learning from each other. Carol, she came in. Look, folks, I can't do this. No, you can do this. Let me tell you how you do this. And once we told her how to do it, boom, it's done. It's done. That's what we're all about, trying to get people to move to the next level. And then if you run into a barrier at the next level, guess what? We're going to help you get past that one too. So, Blind United, again, anything you want to know about Blind United, info@blindunited.org. I promise you, we'll get back at you. We'll make sure that we get you on our email list, whatever it is you want. We'll make sure we can make that happen for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what our mission is, as we say, building bridges, closing gaps, and making connections. That's what we're all about. So anyway, we got 2 minutes, y'all. Pedro, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here, my brother?
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank God it's Friday, folks. Get yourself ready for the weekend. I got some things to do on the weekend. I gotta hit this concert with how many blind people, Monica? 13 blind people in this concert. We about to go on the VIP section. Pepe Marquez concert. So looking forward to that. It's live music, something my better half loves. She loves live music. We can check that out, Then on Sunday we got another thing to go to that we gotta do. But a little busy weekend, and I hope you guys have a great one. And yeah, we gotta get these regulations down for these companies, these corporations. There's multi-billion corporations that are trying to get money any way they can out of our pocket.
That's it. You done, Britt? All you want to do is say goodbye?
I mean, I want to say, what the heck? Who is Trump appointing to these offices? Why? That it bothers me. Linda McMahon? What? That's like the WWE co-CEO. Like, what? And then the other dude, Matt Gates, and then,
Oh no, he just dropped out.
Okay, he dropped out, and then the other dude who thinks that women shouldn't be in the military, and then the other guy who's like a Fox host, Fox
Oh
News
yeah, the
host.
Fox News host.
Like
Yeah.
what? Where is he finding these people? That's all I have to say.
All he does is reach around and pull their lips off his butt and gives them a position. So, on that note, we're going to end this one before we get ourselves in deeper trouble. But anyway, folks, y'all have a great weekend. Hope you do something exciting, have fun, and come back and tell about us Monday. We'll be back again, 9 a.m. See you then.